Welcome back. Lots of people kept a diary when they were kids, but how many can say they've kept it up for 90 years? A woman Boyd Huppert found about an hour over the border in Lakota, North Dakota, can say that and more.
It's not unusual for lives to be documented in photos.
I played outside.
Each picture, the old saying goes, worth 1,000 words.
It was 29 degrees above zero.
But Evie Risky has both.
We butchered some turkeys.
This is my mom's cedar chest. Most of the diaries are right here.
The diaries.
1996, 2016,
Packed outside
2017.
and in.
Page after page after page. This is before she met my dad, so we had some dating things happening.
But let's not get
46 to 50.
ahead of ourselves.
Whole bunch of stories.
The girl on the far right in this school photo is Evie Risky at age 10
My first diary.
with a new Christmas gift from her father.
Grandmas were at our place, and Clarence walked from Mount Elmas this morning. That was the first entry. 1936.
Then Evie
1939.
didn't stop.
On January 3rd, it was 26 below zero.
Didn't stop on her 25th birthday.
Dad made popcorn and we played canasta.
Didn't stop
In 75,
on her 50th.
I got a can opener from Todd.
Didn't stop on January 2nd this year.
Wanda came at 10 a.m. to do my hair, so I will look nice at my 100th birthday party.
Hasn't missed
No,
a single day
no, I have not.
in more than 90 years.
33,000 days.
Daughters Michelle and Linda
It's hard to fathom.
have their parents' wedding photo
54.
and the accompanying script.
We were married by the judge at 2 p.m.
That's all about our lives, too.
Don took me to the hospital.
The births
We drove like hell.
of Evie's 3 children.
God is good. He gave us another healthy child.
The mundane
He washed my hair.
and the not.
On December 7th, Japan invaded Pearl Harbor by dropping bombs.
This, Evie wrote at 16.
There are 32 countries in war now. It's bad.
You get the chills a little when you're reading some of these things, to hear over the radio that John Kennedy had been assassinated.
His wife was with him when he was shot. I went to Penny's store, and everyone was quiet. Not a soul said a word.
And it's your mother. It's not just a person you read about.
The Trade Center building was blown up by terrorists. This is the worst day for USA since Pearl Harbor.
Raising her kids, running a meat locker with her husband.
Washed the walls, scrubbed the floors, butchered, baked bread.
Didn't go to school past 8th grade because it was the Depression. She had to work.
Yet somehow,
Took down the Christmas tree.
Evie always found time
It's just a habit.
to write.
I enjoy it.
Evie and Don were married 56 years.
He died at 10 minutes to 4 p.m. After his last breath, we all cried.
Words worth 1,000 pictures
I miss Don.
in the story of a life being written still.
Yes, it's been a good life.
Boyd Huppert, KARE 11 News, Lakota, North Dakota.
What a great story. Well, after nearly 150 years of professional baseball, the traditional wood bat is getting a makeover. Several Yankees players are using torpedo-shaped bats, and their season's off to a great start. So naturally, fans want to get their hands on one of these new bats.
If you're looking for the latest bat,
There's a lot of variations.
Baseball 365 in Burnsville usually has you covered.
Here's a couple different options.
But Ryan Cousins admits
I just heard about it about 4 days ago.
he didn't see the torpedo bat craze coming.
It kind of came up out of nowhere. We had a couple customers ask us, and I honestly didn't know anything about them. When they asked me, I had to go look them up online and know what they were.
What he found were images of 5 Yankees, including Cody Bellinger, Jazz Chisholm Jr., and Anthony Volpe, using the oddly shaped bats to help their team belt a record-tying number of homers through 3 games.
This is actually Volpe's model before he was using the torpedo bats.
Cousins says Victus Sports and Louisville Slugger are both apparently making the bats exclusively for pros. And despite a few hints on social media,
They're not for sale yet. I'm sure that'll change very quickly here. So as soon as they launch, we'll have them in the store.
Major League Baseball does police the thickness and length of bats. This one is 32 inches. They can be up to 42 inches. Highly unlikely, though. This is where it gets complicated. They can be only 2.61 inches in diameter. And the torpedo bats don't change that math. It simply changes the thickness of the bat to the part where you make the most contact.
So it should, you would think, be a little easier to balance, a little easier to swing for the players.
the benefit is twofold.
Bat control and bat speed.
He says big knobbed bats are based on a similar premise.
It's going to bring a lot of the weight towards the handle, kind of down towards here. And again, the idea is to balance the bat out a little bit, bring the weight closer to the hands.
And while the torpedo bats might strike an even better power balance, he says it could also just be the Yankee effect.
Aaron Judge is a good example. He's not using one, and I think he's doing okay.
Just a pretty big ass strike.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, it's getting pressed because they're started out so hot. If they were 0-3, I'm sure nobody'd be talking about it.
Which brings us to the other players, including the Twins' Ryan Jeffers, who have turned to the torpedo bat. So far, Jeffers is just 2 for 10 with no home runs.
You still got to hit the ball, right?
You do, yeah. You still have to have talent and be able to hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, no matter how big the barrel is.
Well, stick with us. More news and weather will be coming up after the break.